You're listening to the Overcast, your joke-making, fun-having pop culture podcast, brought to you by Oversoul Gaming. Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Overcast. I'm Justin.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Brooksy.
And together, we're bringing you sunshine on a cloudy day. And too much sun lately, too hot. Go away. I want fall. I want October. I want spooky. I want apple cider. I want orange. I'm ready. So, yes. Anyways, though, that is my favorite season, by the way, the autumn. I'll just throw that out there right now. It's the best weather of the whole thing.
It's a-coming.
Yes, but it doesn't last long enough. Summer and winter are too long. Autumn is like here and gone in like a month. But anyways, so we have the whole cast this time, and later in this episode for the topic, we're going to be doing a fun little trivia game show thingy. That's going to be a hoot and a holler. But before that, it's the usual life updates. And, Brooksy, you recently attended some pretty major events. In our last episode, when it was just Nick and I, well, you were at Comic-Con. We talked about Comic-Con.
I know.
You were at Comic-Con, so tell us about that, and don't forget the duck.
I gotcha. Yeah. So,
Huh?
I went to Comic-Con. It is something that I've been doing since 2017. The first time I ever went out there was actually the first time Sam and I had ever gone to California. It's what has made us fall in love with this area, and then ultimately, years down the road, moved out here. I'll be honest. I'm a big collector. There's a lot of different things to do at Comic-Con. What most people really think about for Comic-Con are panels. And what's funny is I had actually never attended a panel until this year. I have always been someone that's big on the expo floor. It takes over the entire convention center because all of the halls are upstairs or a separate part of the building. So like Hall H is something I've personally, still to this day, have never done. Ballroom 20 is also something I've never done. I will say for anyone that is listening that ever thinks about wanting to go to Comic-Con and manages to score tickets, because it is really difficult. It took me years before I could get in. Hall H is a completely separate beast where people will literally get in line for it on Tuesday, and will camp out overnight on Tuesday night and then stay out in the sun all day long on Wednesday to be able to secure their spot. And a lot of those people will literally just do Hall H the entire weekend. I don't have that dog in me. I really don't. And I'm also a big collector. So when I first started going to Comic-Con, very big on Funko Pops. Those have become more like Beanie Babies. So now it's just kind of random shit that I really want to go for. This year, I really wanted to go for Tamashii Nations is a figurine maker that I love. They do a lot of anime figurines, most notably a lot of Dragon Ball Z, and I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. They had a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive King Piccolo in his skull throne from the Dragon Ball series that I really wanted, and I was able to secure it. I was also able to get through the line for the Neopets booth because it is their 25th anniversary, and I am a millennial, and my Neopet is starving, and I have not fed it a piece of omelet in forever. But I did go through the line. They did a limited art piece that was just Comic-Con exclusive, and it's all of Neopets literally running through the expo floor in Comic-Con.
That's amazing.
Super cool, super cute, absolutely love it. Also got myself and one of my friends a Neopets themed tarot deck. I also got a graphic novel from Neopets. I did go through the AMC booth, which literally just looked like an AMC, like when you go inside the movie theater, like their register area. But they were selling a bunch of different popcorn buckets that they've kind of like discontinued or have sold out. Like
Nice.
people that have been chasing that giant Galactus popcorn bucket, you were able to get that if you got there early enough. Or my friend Jake, who went with me, he got the, I forget the name of it, but the robot that's in Fantastic Four. He got a popcorn bucket that's literally
Oh,
that robot.
Herbie or something like that.
Yes,
Herbert
yes.
something.
Did they have
and it
the
literally
Goofy
like
movie? Did they have the Goofy movie popcorn bucket?
I don't remember. I know people were like really freaking out about the Galactus head, and they were also freaking out about the. There's one that's like a giant paw print from Dinosaur for the new Jurassic Park movie. People were freaking out about.
That Galactus head was like $80 at the movie theaters.
Yeah.
They that obviously they don't have it out here. This theater is not that kind of theater, but
Yeah. No.
its eyes light up apparently.
Yeah, no, the robot's really cool because like the front chest opens up and it's a candy compartment. The back of the robot, it opens up. That's the popcorn compartment. The top of the head you unscrew and it's a drink compartment. And it also has a button that you can click on and it projects the Fantastic Four logo on a wall. And then there's just another button that plays like the Fantastic Four theme song. It's really cool. Like really cool. Jake was like, he was so hyped about it. But the big thing that I really wanted to get this year was I'm a huge King of the Hill fan. Born and raised in Texas, literally 30 minutes away from Garland, which is the play on Arlen that the show is based off of. And Toddland is a giant area that this guy Todd, he does basically all of the Comic-Con merch for Hulu animated series. So Bob's Burgers, Simpsons, King of the Hill, and a few other ones were also there as well. It's like this huge area. And they had a King of the Hill booth, and they were selling only 25 a day, so 100 in total, a skate deck that they had collaborated with Thank You Skateboarding. And it's the original crew, but older because it's for the Return of the King. And they're all wearing like beach gear, like Surf's Up tank tops and stuff to like
Nice.
tie in with it being Comic-Con. I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning.
That's also appropriate because Boomhauer was a surfer.
Yes, he's wearing a thong in that
That's
skateboard,
amazing.
like a leopard cheetah print one.
Yep. That's
Yep,
Boomhauer.
yep.
Boomhauer was basically the Quagmire of King of the Hill.
Dang old Return of the King, man. But I literally got up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was at the convention center by like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I was in the first like 50 people to get into the convention that morning. I ran straight over to that booth and they were like, "Hey man, I got bad news." And I'm like, "Oh no." They're like, "So they did a pop-up event in the Gaslamp downtown San Diego area, and the people that make the decks, thank you, that are working with Bait, they had a bit too much fun last night, and they haven't woken up yet, and the decks are in LA." And I was like, "You're kidding me." I'm so tired because I've literally been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, and so like I walked around the floor for a bit. I went and watched a couple random panels, one of which I actually watched with my parents who live in Texas. They go to Comic-Con every year. But like it was, normally I go for a bunch of stuff. This year, not really. So it was mostly walking around. There were a lot of cool exhibits that they had there. The Avatar area was absolutely amazing. I super love the Lego area. They do something different every year, and this year they made an entire Lego set that was on one side was the entire convention center,
Nice.
and on the other side, I'm not even kidding, it was like the size of a bedroom, a giant floor plan of the entire convention.
That's
Of
amazing.
exhibit hall, it had an area for Hall H, and like they did it for last year. So like on the stage on Hall H, you have like a little Lego Robert Downey Jr. with a bunch of Doctor Dooms behind him, and like it was like you could tell hundreds upon hundreds of hours were put into this thing, and it was so cool to see. So
I saw pictures of life-size Lego models of Glinda and Alphaba from Wicked, too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they had that. Like, dude, it is a overstimulating dream and nightmare inside there because there's 135,000 people that attend every year, and it's like a sardine can in there. But I love it. I love it. I always spend too much money, but I had a great time. Normally I do like 3 days. I only did 2 days because I went immediately from that to Vans Warped Tour, because Vans Warped Tour is officially back. It was over in Long Beach. Equally had an incredible time. I want to say, honestly, my favorite part of the whole thing is my wife had brought a flag with her, and it was a Palestinian flag. There were very few people that brought flags, despite it being a festival, and that's been a really big trend the past handful of years. I saw my wife was on their Twitch and on their YouTube in the crowd with her flag. Whoever the camera guy was during games we played just like zoomed straight in on my wife's flag, so it was playing on the giant screens around the band themselves, which was really cool. I got to meet Matt Cutshall, who is like a media influencer person who does Emo's Not Dead. And it's like parody videos making fun of emo culture. I've watched him for years. I love him, and I got to meet him and take a photo with him, which was really cool. Favorite moment, though, was my wife and I were just sitting in the shade area for a bit, and she hits me while I was looking at my phone. I'm like, what? And she goes, "That's Tony Hawk." And I look up, and I shit you not, literally a foot away from me, just walking by with some random person, was Tony Hawk.
Damn.
And I literally went, "That's Tony. That's Tony," as if we're on a first name basis or some shit.
Well, look at you. Now you've breathed the same air as Tony Hawk and Hideo Kojima. You can die.
I know. No kidding, dude. Like, my 12-year-old self is like just like getting to live the dream right now, man. But he was walking over to the vert ramp, and he went and did like a little he did a vert demo, which was really cool. He also got on stage and did Superman, the song with Goldfinger, like the classic Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So here I am, which was just awesome. Had a blast. And since then I've just been kind of hanging out. Been playing. I just finished reading a book called Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm playing Mafia right now, but definitely Warped Tour and Comic-Con were definitely like the highlight of my my past few weeks or so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you brought up King of the Hill, so I'll go next then and transition into that because, like, I finally caught up on the whole show. I almost forgot that they during the finale, or what was intended to be the original finale, and then they did a couple more episodes, but they revealed that Boomhauer has been a Texas Ranger this whole time, and I'm like, that recontextualizes so much different shit throughout the show, like, because...
Yep.
I realized that, like, all those there was a lot of times where he actually threw them under the bus, and he, like, actually, like, said what they did, like that camping episode with the crane, and they thought they killed it, and he's like, it's right over there in that cooler, like, and the episode where Dale burns down the firehouse and, like, they pin it on the dead guy, and Boomhauer is like, no, man, it was Dale. But no one ever understands him because of how he talks, so the guys keep getting away with it. He was trying to convict them. He was trying to take them down when he did that shit. I think that was some great
But my
shit.
favorite thing is, even in the very first episode, whenever they have CPS coming through to, like, try to take Bobby and all of that, he comes over to Boomhauer's house, and he just starts complaining to him about how terrible the government is, and I'm like, in hindsight, this is really hilarious. Like, this is, oh god, just comedic gold.
Him putting up with Dale's conspiracy shenanigans the whole time on top of it, like, that is...
Oh, yeah.
I've been watching the new season, and I do like, especially, I think it's the third episode, where they go to the Bush Museum. I love how... In the old show, Hank just used to roll his eyes and ignore Dale, but now he actually calls him out on his bullshit. And I think that's pretty cool, honestly. He's like, God dang it, that's not true at all.
No. The show's been... I am shocked shocked at how good the season is. I'm literally on a second watch through of the season right now.
I'm only about halfway through, but I will say I'm loving it so far. It feels like the same show in new territory. It is
Yep.
like it hasn't the humor hasn't changed. The characters have only changed in age, and like they've grown in the way that's appropriate. It's not like they haven't been flanderized like some characters of other shows,
Yep.
Speaking of which, I'm starting to realize how many plot lines Family Guy stole from King of the Hill. Honestly, after watching this show, like from beginning to end, I'm like, wait a minute, Family Guy did this too. Like, oh fuck. But but like they said on South Park, Simpsons did it. So you can't win anyways.
Have you? Because I can't remember which episode it is. Have you watched the one where it's very Bobby and Peggy focused?
Of the new season, no, not yet.
No, okay.
I don't think so. I think the last one I saw was the one about the handyman app, and like Hank was getting low
bananas?
Dude, but like I did a good job. I'm like, well, now you know how it feels. It's kind of a book ending because he did that to the Uber driver. Well,
I'm gonna give you 4 stars, something to work towards. It's like,
yeah, it's
so
fucking
good.
beautiful. It's genuinely hilarious. But to me, so far, the funniest line in the show so far is when he sees Bill is like an obese hermit living in his bed. Because apparently he caught COVID in 2020 and just never came out of his house again.
Oh, Jesus.
You can tell now. They don't confirm it, but context clues. If you watch the opening credit scene, it slows down. You'll see during the parts where COVID starts when because that opening credit scene is basically a montage of everything that happened between the old show and the new one.
Nice.
Is what it is. And if you slow down and pay attention, you'll see at one point during the COVID section, Bill starts coughing and walks away and doesn't ever come back on screen. So so he's been. So he becomes a hermit. The funniest fucking line in the whole new show so far is in the first episode when Bill's like, I watched all of Netflix. He's like, did you know when you get to the end of Netflix, you get something called a wellness check?
That's amazing.
The reason why I asked you about like if you had seen the one that's Bobby and Peggy centric, and you'll know which one it is. That one has my favorite line of the entire season, which is you could tell that a 12-year-old did that, and as soon as you see it, you'll know exactly what it's referring to, and it is the funniest callback to the original seasons.
Or the part where the German guy, the German people come into Bobby's restaurant, and he's like, "Wait, are you related to Cotton Hill?" And he's like, "He was my grandpa." And they're like,
"You were one of the fitty men."
Oh no, he was like, "Your grandpa gunned down my grandpa with a machine gun," and he was like, he was one of the fitty men?
Oh, man.
Yes, I guess I love, because Cotton would always walking around and be like, I killed fitty men when I was in the army,
Yeah, and
the Japanese took my shins.
And I know I told you this, Joseph, but the way that they've really very accurately portrayed how much the DFW area has changed over the past 15 years is absolutely incredible. And even just like small little things like him saying there's a German influence to the Robota, there's a weird amount of German influence in cuisine throughout Texas, German and Polish mainly. And it's just, they've done so well with the setting and everything.
Yeah, I've been glad to have this journey. Watching all the episodes back to back really puts it in perspective. I'm fine with Dale's new voice because honestly, I feel like it ages him appropriately for somebody who smoked like 6 packs a day for 50 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
He definitely sounds like his like. I mean, it's sad though because his actual voice actor died of throat cancer, and
yeah.
And you can hear that in his performance. Like, you can hear the straining to do it. And, so it's sad, but it's also, like, weirdly appropriate in a way. It's kind of a meta headcanon, if you will. That's just my way of coping with the voice change, I guess.
Oh, man.
And, Yeah, it was most. Oh yeah, I started watching the new season of Twisted Metal, which is really good so far. I'm enjoying the fuck out of that. It's just the right amount of gore and dark humor. The show is hilarious. And Anthony Mackie, I mean, I like him as the new Captain America, but he's this is one of his best roles in my opinion. John Doe in Twisted Metal, he fucking chews the scenery in this show. He's in it. You know, he's got like Will Smith energy, if you catch my drift.
Nice. Hell yeah.
But like like the good way, like he used to be like in Men in Black type shit, like, um, and the first 100 days in Last Defense Academy, I say first 100 because yep, reaching 100 is not the end of the game. There is more to see. If you've ever played Nier Automata, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm excited to get that part of the game going. And outside of that, I'm almost done with Death Stranding 2. I don't really think I have much else. I finally redeemed my movie pass from that whole Final Destination situation. And I will talk about that movie in the media corner, what I saw with this pass. But outside of that, work has been kicking my ass, and I've mostly just been really tired lately.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot going on besides the same old, same old. What about you, Nick?
Well, I went on a adventure of my own.
Yeah?
This was over
okay, no,
the course.
this sounds like the setup to like some kind of, Narnia or Never-Ending Story type situation, so I'm excited. Let's go.
You know what? You might be surprised.
Like, well, while you guys were busy playing video games and going to rock concerts, I traveled to another dimension and made friends with an elf.
You know what? You're gonna fucking you're gonna fucking kick yourself and you're gonna laugh so goddamn hard. Because part of what I'm going to say is this trip was planned a couple of months ago actually for Willow's 7th birthday. I am now the proud father of a little 7-year-old.
Aww. Well, happy birthday, Willow, officially from the Overcast.
Yes. We took a 2-day trip up to Waterloo, Iowa, which is about a couple hours from where we're at. And we went to, there's this theme park / water park that's been heavily advertised in the Des Moines metro areas called Lost Island. And I don't know much about Lost Island. I know Sarah went to the water park about 10 years ago.
If it was a Lost Island, how did you find it?
It's been heavily advertised.
Nice.
Well, it's not very lost then, is it?
No, not really. But
What are you, a cop?
I first heard of
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Brooksy is like that channel that watches CinemaSins videos and then points out everything wrong with what they said. As they're nitpicking the movie.
Yes.
Don't worry, Nick. I got you.
I guess the theme park is like why it's being heavily advertised. That's a brand new theme park. But we went to the theme park the first day, and we walked through all 5 realms. And you know what's funny about what you had just said a little bit ago? While Sarah and I went on a ride, Willow went over to the group of characters with Sarah's mom while we went on this ride she wasn't tall enough to get on. I think that ride looked so much better just watching it. It was anticlimactic as fuck. Um, but Willow was given a little rock by one of the characters and was told to give it to the Earth Realm character. I forget the character's name, but this character has a mushroom on its head. And if she gave this little rock to the mushroom head, she would be able to trade it for a toy. And this character went on this whole elaborate thing. She's like, what's your favorite animal? Cat. I have a kitty cat for you. It was a little tiny miniature tiger, and he had said, if you have to make sure you get 8 hours of sleep so that tiger can get up and dance in the middle of the night while you're sleeping. I'm like, this is some of the wildest shit I've ever fucking heard, and it got Willow really excited, and that was a moment I wish I could relive. I thought that was so freaking cool. But one thing, Willow went on her first big roller coaster. So she
Wait, define big in this case. Are we talking like the Demon at Six Flags?
this roller
or...
coaster went upside down 3 times. It's called the Fire Runner.
So the Demon at Six Flags. Yep, the Demon at Six Flags. Okay,
It's called the Fire Runner. She was in between the height requirement and the inch above that. But she saw it from all the way across the park when we first came in. She's like, I want to go on that orange one. I'm tall enough. I want to go on the orange one. She got up to it and saw what it was, and she's like, I don't want to go on this anymore. But we're like, no, you were wanting to go on this as soon as you spotted the roller coaster. You will be just fine. You are tall enough to go on this. The safety restraints will not fail.
Did she enjoy it?
She demanded to go on it again.
Yep, that sounds about right. Yep,
Like,
that's the classic
that doesn't
sitcom situation.
Oh my, like, dude, like, so the ride operators told us that the front of the coaster is the mildest compared to the back. Give it a name, Fire Runner. This was a very fast ride. I sat in the very front car. Willow sat behind me, and Sarah sat behind her.
Okay.
I know I could have probably broken my neck doing this, but being the paranoid dad and seeing how the restraints fit on me, looked back to make sure Willow was still in her car. She had her eyes closed and she had her head ducked down, but she had a blast. She loved it.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, I'm, like, terrified of heights, but the first roller coaster I ever rode was the Superman at Six Flags when it was there, and, like, I hated the climb, but once it got going, I was like, oh, this is one of the most exhilarating things I've ever experienced. This is something else.
That's a roller coaster I still have yet to be on.
And I don't think it's there anymore.
Oh, man.
But... yeah, and then I rode pretty much all of them, including the Raging Bull, which is the tallest one there.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah, I did not do the Deja Vu, though. I didn't want to do one of those ones that's just, like, straight up and down and then hangs there. Some bullshit.
Goliath was really good, too.
Yeah, just like I won't do those, like, drop towers either. Fuck that noise.
Fair enough.
I love those.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I don't like the idea that it's basically just gravity until it catches you at the end. If it catches you at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, August 1st and August 2nd, in the state of Iowa is tax-free weekend, and that's the opportune time to buy clothes for your kids for school. So I ended up getting Willow a matching hoodie and skirt set. Is Wicked. I got her the matching skirt, and I found another Wicked t-shirt for her. Oh yeah, she loved it. She loves it. I also ended up getting her Lilo and
skirts, by the way, are skirts with shorts sewn onto them underneath, for those that don't
yes.
know.
I got her Lilo and Stitch shirt. And I found 5 t-shirts for myself. I found 2 Jelly Roll shirts. One Jelly Roll shirt, I was actually really proud of this purchase, because all proceeds go to support at-risk veterans.
Nice.
Yes, that was definitely. I didn't know that until after I got it to the car.
Get a good deal and support a cause.
Another Jelly. Hell yeah, I'm here for it. I also found another Jelly Roll shirt. I found a really badass looking Jack Skellington shirt, and and I got another Beetlejuice shirt, and I also found a Cowboy Post Malone shirt. Is country Post Malone.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what a time we have all had lately. Brooksy has attended Comic-Con and a rock concert. Nick went on a fantasy adventure to the forests of Fandor to find the Crystal of Ithacles, and
the Lost Island,
and
in Waterloo, Iowa.
No, I know what you said. I was being facetious. And I.
Oh no, I was just like nonchalantly just giving them the shout out.
Giving them free advertising. Yeah, thank you.
Hell yeah.
And I have been visiting some old friends in Arlen and delivering packages in the Snowy Mountains.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Those infamous Texas Snowy Mountains.
Yeah, let me tell you about it, man.
Yeah, no. They're in Australia, but... Alright. Well, that sounds like that'll do it for the life updates. Now it's time for the meat and potatoes. Put your thinking caps on, gentlemen, because it's time for some lightning round trivia.
Oh boy.
Ladies and gents, please put your hands together and welcome onto the stage, Buzz!
You said it, Greg! I am Buzz, the only primetime presenter with legs shorter than his head is long.
Hey everyone, welcome to True or False Video Game Edition. Come on down, Nick, come on down, Brooksy. My 2 podcast co-hosts are contestants in this head-to-head piece of combat that we're doing here. It's like a game. It's like a game show, basically. So, what are we doing here today? Well, in a moment here, we're going to go through 62 different true or false video game questions that I myself came up with. I have fact-checked everything on this list, so I know that I am right with all of these. And basically, we're going to use a coin flip to decide who goes first, but back and forth, Nick and Brooksy will go back and forth answering each of these questions. I will ask them true or false, yada yada yada, and they have to say either true or false, but we're doing it's not a buzz-in type of situation. It's a take turns scenario. But they only have 10 seconds to answer. If they cannot decide true or false within 10 seconds, the other player has a chance to steal that one, and they get to go next. If you can steal it successfully, you gain a point. There is no penalty for stealing and getting it wrong. So, there's no penalty for getting answers wrong at all. You either gain a point or you don't.
Okay,
So,
cool.
also, though,
Sweet shit.
if they're feeling ballsy, these two have the chance to call me out if they think that I got any of these wrong. They can call out bullshit, and we will fact-check it on the internet, and if they are right and I was wrong, they will gain 2 points. However, if I was right and they wasted my time, they will lose a point. So... it is a risk-reward type system. So basically, every time they get one right, they gain a point. There's 62 questions total, and by the end of this, whoever has the most points, which I will be keeping track of on my end, will win. In the case of a tie, the winner will be decided by a coin flip. Are there any questions before we begin?
No,
sir.
I'm good.
All right, speaking of coin flip, that will also be what determines who goes first during this. Nick, heads or tails?
Heads.
All right. It is tails.
Damn it.
Means Brooksy. Brooksy goes first. All right. I will not start the timer for each question until I have finished the question. So
Got it.
pay attention because this is a rapid fire thing, so I will not be repeating these questions.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right. Question number 1. True or false? In Grand Theft Auto 5, all 3 main characters can survive the ending depending on your choices.
Oh, fuck. True?
That is correct.
Oh, my God. Not in my campaign.
Did you know that, Nick?
Yes, I did know that.
Okay, see, I know. All right, Nick,
Not mine.
your turn, Nick. In Animal Crossing, or true or
Oh,
false?
goddammit.
In Animal Crossing, true. Yeah, well, you might still know this. True or false? In Animal Crossing, time progresses even when the game is off.
True?
That is correct. That game progresses in real time with your system clock on your Switch.
Okay.
Yep. Brooksy, your turn. True or false?
Okay.
BioShock Infinite takes place primarily underwater.
False.
That is correct. BioShock Infinite takes place in a city in the sky. Nick,
Let's go.
in Final Fantasy VII, Sephiroth is Cloud's brother. True or false?
True.
Nope, that is false. They are not biologically related.
Okay.
Kind of a trick question.
Narrow lead.
Because-
Narrow lead.
because of Genova. All right, Brooksy, true or false? You play as Mary Jane Watson during some segments of 2018 Spider-Man.
True.
That is correct. I know Nick knew that one too.
Yes, I did.
Okay, Nick, true or false? Oh boy. True or false? In Danganronpa, the main characters are all ordinary high school students.
False.
Correct, that is false. They are not ordinary high school students. They are ultimates with ultimate talents. Brooksy. In Tomb Raider 2, there's a cheat code to make Laura explode. True or false?
True?
That is correct. It was a troll put in by the developers to squash the nude codes. They put out a rumor that it was a nude code, and then when you put it in, it would cause her to blow up and die.
Take that, gooners.
That's fantastic.
All right. The score, I believe, is 4-2. Nick, true or false? The Konami code starts with up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start.
True?
That is correct. It is the infamous Konami code that unlocks things in a lot of games. Brooksy, true or false? Monokuma, the main antagonist of Danganronpa, is a black and white bear, but was originally intended to be a human that was half normal and half no skin with the organs showing.
Based off of the butt, I'm going to say false.
Actually, it is true.
Oh, yeah, no, I had no shot on that one.
There's concept out there for it. I'll show it to you later. It is horrifying. Nick, true or false? Troy Baker, who voices Joel in the Last of Us video game, makes a cameo in Season 1 of the TV adaptation.
True.
That is true. Brooksy, true or false? Desmond Miles appears in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
False.
That is false. He is not in that game.
Thank God.
Nick, true or false? Red Dead Redemption 2 is a prequel.
False.
It is actually true. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a prequel to the first game. Yeah. Brooksy, true or false? Coco Bandicoot is Crash Bandicoot's older sister.
False.
Correct. She is his younger sister.
Nice.
Nick, true or false? Call of Duty Modern Warfare was the best-selling game of 2019.
True.
That is
not
true.
29. Oh.
Yep, the score is 5-6. Nick is right on your ass. Brooksy, true or false? The Super Nintendo SNES was released before the Sega Genesis.
Oh, fuck. Before the Sega Genesis. That's true.
False. It was released
Really?
after, about 2 years after.
Oh, crap.
Okay. Nick, true or false? The main character of Halo is named Master Chef.
False.
That is correct. It is
Yes,
Master
Chef.
Chief.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, I know this. Master Chef is a fucking Gordon Ramsay show.
I warned you I was going to do this bullshit. Brooksy, true or false? The PlayStation 2 is the best-selling console of all time.
True.
That is correct. It is true. Nick, true or false? The original Resident Evil game was first released for the Nintendo 64.
What was the franchise?
Resident Evil. The very first game, Nintendo 64. True or false?
True.
False. It was originally released for the PS1. Later re-released on the N64, I
Okay.
believe. Although that might have been the second game might have been on the N64, but the first one was originally released on the PS1.
Okay.
Brooksy, true or false? Mario was originally a carpenter, not a plumber.
What? True?
That is true. Yes.
Oh my God.
The things that you don't think will be, but they are. Yes. You actually learned something from this.
I'm narrowly winning on bullshit.
It's 8-6 now. So, Nick, true or false? The first Alan Wake game was originally released on PS3.
True.
False. It was originally released on Xbox 360, and it was exclusive to that until the recent remaster.
Oh, I did not know that.
That's why I never played it.
Brooksy, true or false? The main source of light in Outlast is your character's flashlight.
True?
False. The main source of light in Outlast is a night vision camera.
Oh, okay.
It's actually what it's most known for. Nick, true or false? In Death Stranding, Sam is actually dead the entire game.
False.
Correct, that is false. He is not dead, but he is a repatriate, which means he cannot die. Every time he dies, he just comes back. Brooksy, true or false? Earthbound was originally released in Japan under the title Mother 2.
True?
True. Earthbound is the game that Ness and Lucas and Smash Bros. Are from. It is a turn-based JRPG from the Super Nintendo. Nick, True or false? You can catch Mew in Pokemon Red and Blue without using cheats.
True.
Yes, that is true. You can catch Mew without using cheats, but you can use glitches, which are not technically cheats.
Okay, I'm like, dude, I don't think that's true. I think it's just through a glitch. That clarifies. Okay. Anyways.
Yep. Yes. Brooksy, true or false? In The Last of Us, the Fireflies are the military force in charge of the quarantine zones.
False.
False, you are correct. It is Fedra in charge of the quarantine zones. Fireflies are the rebels.
Fair enough.
Nick, true or false? God of War 2018 takes place in Greek mythology.
False.
False, you are right. It is Norse mythology. The original games are Greek. Yes, it was the 2018 part that was important.
Yes.
Brooksy, true or false? Until Dawn is set in a haunted hotel.
False.
You are correct. It is a lodge cabin in the woods. Nick, true or false? Devil May Cry originally began as an early concept for Resident Evil 4.
True.
That is true. You are correct. Brooksy, true or false? Big Boss is the clone of Solid Snake.
True.
False. It's the other way around.
Oh, shit. Son of a biscuit.
Solid Snake is the clone of Big Boss. I was expecting you to know
I'm
this.
gaining on you, Brooksy.
Well, no, I wasn't listening close enough, and I hate myself now. That's fine. I'm sorry, Kojima. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, this is fun. It's like controlling people's feet. All right, Nick, true or false? Another question about a series you don't care about. Dude, that's funny.
I swear to God, if it's KCD, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Nope. Nick, true or false? The first Call of Duty game was set during World War II.
True.
That is true. You are now tied. Brooksy, true or false? Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War shares the same voice actor as Bender from Futurama.
True?
That is true. It is John DiMaggio. He also plays Jake in Adventure Time.
Oh, noted. Wild.
Nick, true or false? Soma was developed by the same studio that created Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
True.
That is true. They were both developed by Frictional Games. Brooksy, true or false? The Mass Effect series allows you to carry your decisions from one game into the next.
True.
That is absolutely true, especially in the Legacy Edition.
That's the best part of it.
Yep. Nick, oh, this is perfect for you. True or false? Little Hope was the first game in the Dark Pictures anthology.
False.
That is correct. Man of Medan was the first game. Little Hope was the second.
Correct.
Brooksy, true or false, Brooksy? In Skyrim, you can become a werewolf and a vampire at the same time.
True.
False. You can
Really?
only be one or the. You can only be one or the other unless you use mods.
Oh.
Yep. But in core gameplay, you can only be one or the other. Nick, true or false? Pac-Man's original name was Puck-Man, but it was changed for Western audiences due to worries of vandalism.
False.
No, it is true.
Oh.
It is true. They didn't want them vandalizing Puck to say something else. I'm sure you can imagine. They changed it to Pac-Man.
Fuck man.
I'm fucking dead. Oh, that's amazing.
Fuck man. Fuck man.
All right. True or false, Brooksy? Rift Apart is the first Ratchet and Clank game to feature playable female characters.
True?
That is true. Nick, true or false? Kratos is the son of Zeus.
False.
No, that is true.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah,
Someone
you
needs
gotta-
to go back and play the
gotta-
Greek games.
You gotta go kill Daddy.
Not like there isn't flashbacks to it in the 2018 game or anything.
Fair enough.
Lucky you, Brooksy. True or false? In Kingdom Come Deliverance, you can complete the entire game without killing anyone.
That is true.
It is very true, but very hard.
Yeah, hard pass on that one. The not killing animals is already hard enough.
Nick, true or false? You can survive a fall from any height in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild by shield surfing just before landing.
True.
That is true. It is a known trick in the game. Brooksy, true or false? You can drive the Batmobile in Batman Arkham Asylum.
No, false.
That is false. You can drive it in Arkham Knight. Nick, true or false? The default character in Minecraft is named Steve.
True.
That is true. Brooksy, true or false? Persona 3 was the first game in the series to have social links.
Oh shit. True?
That is true. 1 and 2 did not.
Oh, thank God. I never played the first two.
Nick, true or false? In Minecraft, creepers were originally a coding mistake that they decided to keep in.
I believe that is true.
That is true. You are correct. Brooksy, true or false? The default character in Fortnite is called Jonesy.
Oh shit! I've actually never played a single second of Fortnite. Shit. False.
You are wrong. It is true.
Son of a biscuit. Okay, that's fine.
I was hoping the timer
Jonesy,
would run
voiced
out.
by Troy Baker. Yeah, Nick knows this one, I think.
Yes, I do.
Knew that one. All right, Nick, true or false? Oh, shit. I'm sorry, Brooksy. Nick, true or false? You can play full versions of Virtua Fighter and Outrun in the Yakuza games.
True?
That is true.
Yeah. This is so fun.
All right. Brooksy, true or false? You can romance Alistair in Dragon Age Inquisition.
Alistair. I don't even remember who Alistair is.
He's a companion in the first game.
Oh, false.
That is false, but not because he's a companion in the first game, because there are non-companions you can romance in Inquisition.
Yep.
And Alistair is in Inquisition and does join you for a quest. So,
I was
Nick.
right.
Oh, here we go. Nick, true or false? In the Kingdom Hearts series, Riku was originally supposed to inherit the Keyblade, but when he opened his heart to darkness, it chose Sora instead.
Oh, I'm gonna kick myself. True?
Hell
It is
yeah.
true. You just barely made that. But yes, it is true. In Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, it's revealed that Terra passed the Keyblade down to Riku.
Okay.
And he was meant to be the original wielder. So. I lost my spot. Okay, here we go. Brooksy. True or false? In Devil May Cry, Nero is Dante's twin brother.
No, false.
You're correct. That is false. Nero is Virgil's son. Nick, true or false? Instead of Final Fantasy characters, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance contains characters from another Square Enix game called The World Ends With You.
I believe that's true.
That is true. They take place in dream-based Traverse Town. Okay. Brooksy, true or false? Pokemon is the second highest grossing media franchise behind Winnie the Pooh.
What?
False. I don't think it's Winnie the Pooh.
No, and actually that's not the reason it's false either, but you are correct.
Okay.
Pokemon, as of August 2025, Pokemon is now the highest grossing media franchise of all time.
Okay, I thought it was number one, so okay. And I was like, I
Yes.
don't think it's Winnie the Pooh, but okay.
It
Hell
was
yeah.
at one point. It was at one point behind it, but right now it is. I'll actually show you the list later. I found out on Wikipedia. It is fucking crazy.
Okay.
Like the MCU is way lower than you think it would be. Like the top, there's like, I forget what the very, but like what's. I think it's Pokemon, and then like the Mickey Mouse gang, and then Winnie the Pooh, and then I forget where it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought it was like Mickey Mouse and then like Peanuts, like just something that's been around for fucking ever.
They're definitely up there. Okay. Nick, true or false? Spyro Year of the Dragon was originally released on PS2.
True.
False. Year of the Dragon is the third game in the series, and it was originally released on PS1. It's the one where you play as the kangaroo and the penguin and all them.
Yep.
So, Brooksy, true or false? In Grand Theft Auto 5, you can play as Franklin's dog, Chop.
True?
Yes, during some side quests and through the iFruit app, you can play as Chop.
Nice.
Nick, true or false? The Xbox 360 used Blu-ray discs for its games.
True.
False. The Xbox 360 used HD DVDs. The PS3 used Blu-rays.
Oh, fuck.
Brooksy, true or false? The main protagonist of Bendy and the Ink Machine is Henry the Janitor.
False?
You are correct. That is false. His name is Henry, but he's not a janitor. He is a former animator who was lured back here.
Okay, cool.
Nick, true or false? In Metal Gear Solid 3, you can defeat one of the bosses by either waiting a week in real time or messing with your system or turning your system clock ahead a week.
True.
That is true. Yes, there is a boss in Metal Gear Solid 3 called the End, and if you actually go into your system settings on your console and turn the calendar ahead a week, you'll come back and he will be dead. All right. Brooksy.
Mm-hmm.
True or false? In Among Us, the imposter's goal is to complete tasks.
True?
False. The imposter's goal is to kill people and sabotage things. It is everyone else's job to complete tasks.
Got it.
Nick, true or false? You can finish BioShock without using plasmids.
False.
You are correct. That is false. Some plasmids are required for story progress in that game. Brooksy, true or false? Jack Black stars in a video game called Legend of Brutality.
False. It's Brutal Legend.
Yes, he got it. I had a feeling you know. I had a feeling you know that one.
Fucking love that game.
All right. Nick, true or false? The first level of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale in arcade mode is based on God of War.
True.
False. The first level in arcade mode is based on Parappa the Rapper and Killzone.
Oh, god damn it. That's right.
I'm sorry,
so
man.
ashamed.
All right, last two. Brooksy, true or false? Dark Souls was developed by Capcom.
False. How dare you?
And I'm sorry again, Brooksy. Nick, true or false? Kazuma Kiryu is the main protagonist of every Yakuza game.
True?
False. Nope, the protagonist of some of them is Ichiban.
That's the most recent Like a Dragon franchise.
Yes. All right. Well, that is all the questions, and damn, we did fly through them. The final score is Brooksy at 24 to Nick at 21. You beat him by 3 points. That was a close one.
ADHD, hyperfixation. Let's go. I'm sorry, Nick.
I gotta be honest.
You're good.
I'm genuinely surprised that there wasn't any steals. I'm genuinely surprised that you cut it close a couple times, but it was all within the timer. Somehow. So
I panicked on a lot of them.
yeah. That was fun. I should have came up with more questions, but you know what? It's fine. Shorter episode never hurt nobody. So, yeah. So, the winner is Brooksy of that little contest. Yes. So that means that you get to be the mastermind behind a future episode of the podcast, or a future competition thing that we do. However you want to handle it. You've got a you've got a admin pass. Let's call
Okay,
it.
cool.
So that is how we'll do it. Congratulations on your win, and that'll do it for this little contest. Thank you to both of you. Put up a hell of it. It wasn't like a blowout or anything. 3 points is not a lot to win by. Like, that was close. Nick was on your ass the whole time.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't counting, so I'm like, fuck, man. And I'm like,
he just got unlucky because he got a lot of questions that were. You got the GTA 5 questions, and he got the Yakuza questions.
Yeah, but he also got the Master Chef question. I was like, God damn it, really?
Yeah, that was an easy one. I told you some were easy, some were hard, and some were tricksy.
Yeah.
And that was the point. So, I'm glad you enjoyed that, because we will definitely do this again. That was fun as fuck.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Doing more. Yeah. And if I somehow manage to count wrong, I'll fix it in the editing and do like a post, like a...
Yeah.
An addendum type situation. But that was, yeah. Alrighty then. Moving on.
You're late.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? You're late for dinner.
Oh, yes, we are. We're late
By
for
a
dinner.
single minute.
Yes, we were just.
I had to put some aloe iodine
just
on
had
my
to-
shoulder. And,
I do his shoulder and.
why is that breakfast cereal on the dinner table?
Why are you being weird?
We're not.
We're not
being
acting
weird.
weird.
Well, I'm doing that weird thing with your face.
Oh, we
so-
don't know what you're talking about.
Are you pregnant?
Alright, everybody, here we are at the Media Corner, the part of the show reserved at the end for news, reviews, recommendations, sometimes previews, just a fun little what you playing, what you watching, and what'd you think about it type section of the show. And as I alluded to earlier in the life updates, I went to the movie theaters, finally redeemed that movie pass they gave me, because it's been out for 14 days at this point, and I finally saw Fantastic Four, a little late, but better late than never. And, late showing, too, when at 9:30 got the nice recliner seats, the leather recliners, leaned all the way back.
Nice.
It was fun. So, this movie takes place in a different Earth. I think it's 828, actually, which is a direct reference to the release date of one of the original comics, August 28th, by Jack Kirby. And so it is not in the same reality as the rest of the MCU. This is a different reality, and it takes place in a retro-futuristic 60s. So it's in the 60s, but they have advanced technology, like flying cars and shit. And at this point, the Fantastic Four have already been established for a while. We completely skip past the origin story. It's basically told through a montage in the opening credits. But we are, well established into their career at this point. They've already taken on the Red Ghost and Mole Man and several other people that get name dropped throughout this. And you get to see some of those fights in the opening montage as well. So they're doing the Spider-Man thing here, where we don't have to sit through the boring origin shit again. We can just get straight into the fun bits. They're already well-known superheroes, and the public loves them. So, but everything changes when the Silver Surfer comes to town. As a herald of the end to come, the Silver Surfer shows up and tells them that Galactus is coming and that they're all basically fucked. And, to say your goodbyes now, because there is no hope. You are doomed. And so the Fantastic Four, not one to take this sitting down, decide to take the fight to Galactus and go out to follow the Silver Surfer out to space to confront him personally. And Galactus offers them a deal. I will take your unborn child in exchange for sparing your planet. Your child has great potential. It is a being of ultimate power, and basically it can free me from this curse, this infinite hunger that I have. It can take my place as the new Galactus and be cursed to eat planets forever. Give me your child, and I will spare your planet. And that is the dilemma that the Fantastic Four is faced with, and that is all the more I will tell you as far as the plot goes. Because that Needless to say, they basically do not want to do that, and it basically causes Earth to kind of turn against them because they are like, we don't want to die. It becomes very complicated. So, how they handle it and everything, this movie kind of like took turns that I wasn't expecting, and it, I had a prediction about how I thought it was going to end, and let's just say I'm kind of glad it didn't end that way. It is way better than I thought it would be, and not nearly as tragic as I was expecting, considering it's leading directly into the next Avengers movie. It is, however, intense at times, especially because Galactus is the fucking size of a skyscraper and extremely intimidating.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, the later half of this, like the third act of this, becomes a kaiju movie. I'm not like, without giving any too much away, but Galactus is performed perfectly in this game. Movie. He's voiced by Ralph Innes, who is well known for having a very deep voice, and he's perfect for Galactus with that voice. The rest, I will say most of the cast is actually perfect in this. Johnny Storm, perfect. Reed Richards, Pedro Pascal does a pretty phenomenal job. It works for me. I wasn't expecting it, but it works. He actually looks like the live-action version of the old cartoon version. And in this movie, there are actually scenes from the original cartoon to really kind of drive that home. You know, like, he really does. Pedro Pascal with the mustache and everything does look like the cartoon. So, it works. I will say, though, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm is probably the best performance in the whole movie, in my opinion. She absolutely steals the scene in every scene she's in. I think she does the best job out of all the cast members, even better than Pedro, in my opinion. You know, and that's not to say that they're bad in comparison. It's just that she deserves top billing here, I think, in my opinion. And I do have a few nitpicks, though. You may remember, like, in the original Fantastic Four movie, like, way back the one with Jessica Alba and Chris Evans, that the Thing, Ben Grimm, had a sort of love interest, and it was this blind woman. She's in this, that potential love interest, but one, she's not blind, and two, she hardly gets any screen time, which is a shame because she's played by Natasha Lyonne from Poker Face. And
what the fuck?
And there's, like, basically a few scenes with her that honestly could have been cut out of this movie entirely and it would have made no difference. It's like they wrote a B-plot involving a potential romance between them that just ended up getting, like, cut at the last minute, you know, but they still left some of the scenes in. It goes nowhere, and it adds nothing, and I was disappointed in that aspect of it. Also, I don't like the casting for Ben, for the Thing. His voice is too soft for this character. It doesn't fit right to me. He's supposed to be a lot more gravelly, you know, for lack of a better term. But I got used to it eventually, you know, and it didn't ruin the movie for me. It was just, it took a little getting used to, though. Like, I never quite loved it, but by the end of the movie, I was able to. It didn't bother me anymore. You know what I mean? So
Fair enough.
But still, that's yeah. But this movie has great action sequences, pretty good story. It goes places I wasn't thinking. The trailer, I would actually argue that the trailer for this movie is misleading and actually doesn't spoil what happens. So that's good. Yeah, because the trailer had me thinking things were going to go one way, and then they end up going a completely different way. I will say there is kind of a Deus Ex Machina type way of how the day is saved, which is a tiny bit lazy on the writing department, but it worked for me. I was okay with it at the end of things, because it was starting to get to a point, not in a bad way, but it was starting to get to a point where for me, things were starting to feel kind of hopeless, and I was like, damn, everything that can go wrong keeps fucking going wrong. And so I was actually pleasantly surprised with how they decided to wrap the movie up by the end of it. That being said, there are 2 credit scenes here, post and or mid and post. Only the mid credit scene is important. The mid credit scene basically takes place 4 years after this and sets up the events of the next Avengers. And that is all I'll say for that. And the post-credit scene is basically just a scene from the original cartoon. So it's
Fair
not
enough.
if you're going to the theaters, it's not worth sticking around for, but if you're watching it at home, you might as well let it play through. You know what I mean? Just for the nostalgia.
Yeah.
So not really anything important in the post-credit though, but the mid-credit, super important. Like, trust me, the mid-credit's gonna have you be like, oh fuck. So yeah. So yeah, actually, pretty well done movie. I like there was some pretty good humor in here too. There's some genuinely funny jokes, and you know, I gotta be honest, they finally did it. They finally made a good Fantastic Four movie. You know,
Hell yeah.
after that pile of horse shit that was the 2015 one with Michael B. Jordan and Miles Teller. And then, you know, the originals weren't that bad, but it's still, you know, this one's good. I thought it was very ballsy of them to do Galactus in live action, but I think they fucking nailed it. He is intimidating, he is powerful, he is fucking huge and scary, and his voice, oh, I could feel his voice vibrating in my ass throughout the like, it is, that man is a deep-voiced motherfucker.
Man,
So,
I can't wait to watch this.
yeah, and yeah, no, it worked. It worked for me. There's a lot of space stuff in this one too, so if you like that, like the cosmic Marvel stuff, there's a lot of that here too. You know, they do spend at least a good chunk of the first act of the movie in space. So, and there's some great action there. Yeah, there are a couple of moments where I do feel like the editing is a little bit off. Like, it just randomly jumps from one scene to the next without, like, a more smooth transition. But I've noticed that's a problem with a lot of movies lately. And I think it's because they're trying to cater to the TikTok crowd. So transitions are now more jumpy and snappy than they used to be. And I don't like that. I prefer a smooth transition, thank you.
Yeah.
So... but that's just old man yells at cloud type shit, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
it's just, yeah. But anyways, I want to see the line that connects the dot from point A to point B, you know? You teleport over there. Which is funny because teleportation technology actually plays a huge role in this movie. So, but anyways, it is better than Captain America, but not as good as Thunderbolts. So I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
Okay.
Because I gave Cap an 8 and I gave Thunderbolts a 9, so that makes sense. I will say, for the upcoming Avengers Doomsday, this movie is required viewing. Reed and Sue's child, I think, is going to be important to the Avengers movie, based on how that credit scene played out. So, I do believe that this movie, I would actually say that Captain America, Thunderbolts, and this are all required viewing for the upcoming Avengers. And if I could be so bold, I would say I actually think the MCU is making a comeback. I think that this new phase, all 3 movies so far, have been genuinely good, in my opinion. And I think we're finally coming back from that lull that we had with the past couple phases. You know, give or take a few hits like Spider-Man. You know. The general consensus was that there's a lull, but people are actually saying good things about this. Fantastic Four, though, it's weird because people were, like, saying nothing about it when it first came out, but now that it's been out a while, it's like everyone's late to the party and everyone's like, actually, this is good. Like, I think people were reluctant at first, and then word of mouth told people it was good, and then they finally went to go see it in its last couple weeks. And now it's getting, like, a late boost, you know what I mean? So,
Little off topic, but still on topic. There's this freaking video going around on TikTok that they were talking about the Fantastic Four sins on Fortnite.
Oh, yeah. You guys should both be excited for this one,
No,
honestly.
I am excited
I
to watch
most
it.
definitely am. After hearing nothing but good things about it, I am absolutely excited to see this.
There are some very real human moments in this movie, just like there was in Thunderbolts. Like, they're starting to do this thing in this phase where they are digging deeper into, like more human problems, and it's not just about punching and kicking all the time. There's some therapeutic shit going on here in these more recent movies. And this one has a lot to do. There's some really good stuff about Reed Richards always like how his need to always find the most logical answer to a problem kind of gets in the way of him having proper emotions sometimes. They deal with stuff like that, and it's handled very, very well, in my opinion. Especially because of the way it's acted.
Yeah. I'm definitely excited to see this.
Yeah, I am too.
All right, Nick, what do you got for us?
So, I have a singular song that I want to talk about. This song it's called Yours by Post Malone. It's from his most recent album, F1 Trillion. This is Post Malone's first full country album. And
Okay.
this song, you'll understand why I say this when I read the lyrics. This song made me cry because I pictured Willow. The lyrics go, I don't know who you are, but one day I'm going to. And it's going to break my heart when she gives hers to you. And it won't be tomorrow, but it's going to be too soon. When I walk her down that aisle and do what daddies have to do, she might be wearing white, but her first dress, it was pink. She might be your better half, but yeah, she's my everything. We'll both love her forever, but I loved her long before. And one day I know I'll give her away. But buddy, that doesn't mean she's yours. This song really makes me think. And it made me cry every time it played.
Yeah.
Relatable songs will tend to do that, and music, even without lyrics, tends to invoke emotion. That's why they put it in movies.
Yeah. But continuing on, it says, yesterday she said her first word. She's a long way from I do. Right now she runs to me. One day she'll run to you. And it's gonna be your best day, but it's gonna be my worst. You might watch her walking towards you, but I saw her walking first. Then it goes back into the chorus. She might be wearing white, but her first dress was pink.
This sounds like the kind of song that you would see the father and daughter dancing to at her wedding.
Abso-fucking-lutely. And
Yeah.
oh, yes. She might be your better half, but she is my everything. We'll both love her forever, but I loved her long before. And one day, I know I give her away, but buddy, that doesn't mean she's yours, 'cause she's still my little girl. It's crazy thinking one day she'll be someone else's world. She might be wearing white, but for her first dress was pink. She might be your better half, but she's my everything. Even if she takes your last name, buddy, that doesn't mean she's yours. Being a girl dad, it's not for the faint of heart.
No, I can't imagine. Could you imagine if Hank Hill had a girl instead of a boy?
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Be like,
goodness.
Dad, I think I got my first period. Whoa!
Oh yes.
Actually happened with Connie.
Oh God. That's fantastic.
Any other thoughts on this song?
Dude. It's on, like I said before, it's on Post Malone's newest album, came out last year. F1 Trillion. It's got a fuck ton of featuring country artists, Jelly Roll being one of them.
Okay.
This and that song that's another really good one. That's called Losers, and it's not an insulting song, it's an uplifting song. It's I'll send you guys some of the tracks that I think that are definitely worth listening to.
Fair enough. What's the name of this particular song again?
It's called It's Yours by Post Malone.
Okay. So that's a recommendation.
Yes.
All right. Was that all? Or
Yep, that's my thoughts. I'm not gonna put a rating on it. But
nah,
yeah,
not for a single song, no.
Not for a single song, no.
If you were reviewing the album, then yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, single song recommendation.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Brooksy, tell us about.
Yeah.
I had a superhero experience. You had a different superhero experience. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I have seen not once, not twice, but 3 times since it's been released in theaters. I've seen Superman.
Jesus.
My wife and I went. Yeah, I know. Wasn't planning on doing that, but man, I would still go see it a 4th time in theaters. I saw it opening weekend with my wife, and the second time I saw it was with Jake, who's one of my very dear friends from back in Texas, while he was here in San Diego for Comic-Con, and then most recently with our friend and roommate Allie. She's been kind of traveling around California this past like month or two, so we took some time to go see it. And I want to really preface by saying, for all of my life, I have never given a single fuck about Superman. I have never once in my entire life ever given a shit about Superman. I have always been I've been that blowhard Dragon Ball Z fan. It's like, oh, Goku's better, even though that's like a stupid argument to begin with. And I've always thought he was a dumb
Epic rap
superhero.
battles of history settled that argument, by the way.
I know. Yeah, whatever.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
not salty.
Goku. He literally the last line in the rap battle is, "You'll just be another Superman who's never gonna walk again," which is like. Which is fucking harsh.
Yes.
So
yeah,
it's a direct reference to a Superman actor who's in a wheelchair. So.
Yep.
Also, Ray William Johnson played Goku in that rap battle.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. But no, I've never cared about Superman ever. What I will say is I do absolutely adore anything that James Gunn touches. I am a massive fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, massive fan of Peacemaker, The Suicide Squad. Most recently, Creature Commandos is incredible. If you haven't watched it,
I need to watch that.
It's really good. It is really good. And so I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna go for it. And I was so I was so pleasantly surprised by how good it was. As much as I say I've never given two shits about Superman, like I also know, like I know enough about Superman to know, like he is an alien that comes from the planet of Krypton. He gains his powers from the yellow sun. Different suns do different shit to him. Kryptonite is a big no-no for him, dog. I know enough about him that like I was really thrilled to know that this is not an origin story. It really just kind of throws you right into the shit as Superman has been Superman for a handful of years at this point. He's working at the Daily Planet as Clark Kent. He's with Lois Lane, and these are all things that are shown in trailers. And I'm gonna stay away from anything spoiler related. But this movie is so incredibly full of heart, in more ways than one, and it really takes a humanistic approach to Superman, just also being a guy, just being a normal human
Just
being,
being a
and
bro.
yeah, and it's really great, and it's still, but he's still like that golly shucks like Clark Kent that everyone's come to know and love, and for me to kind of detest for most of my life. And I really love the humanized aspect of it. It is a movie that was shockingly very politically charged in today's current climate, because this movie touches a lot on immigration and a lot on aliens, and with how the way the world is right now, especially with ICE, just absolutely destroying a lot of the fabric of what this country is, of being open arms and bringing in huddled masses, for really to drive home that, like, yes, Superman is an alien from another planet, but he is no different than you and me, is such an incredible point to be able to make throughout this movie. The other superheroes in it are great. I thought when I saw the trailer for it, I thought I was genuinely gonna hate Guy Gardner, who is the Green Lantern. Um, he is one of the funniest people in that entire movie, and there's a scene towards the end of the movie that made me laugh so hard at how he approached a fight. Um, that it was just absolutely
Don't
incredible.
think I
Hot
don't
girl
think I
who,
didn't catch that Green Lantern. That was.
oh yeah,
I just tried so hard not to laugh. I'm
hot.
sorry. I can't.
Yeah, Hot Girl was great. Absolutely angsty. It's the same actress that plays Dina in The Last of Us right now for season 2.
Oh,
I thought she
awesome.
did. I thought she did an incredible job in this role as well. She has one of my favorite moments in the entire movie. And Justin, I know you've had this movie spoiled for you, but you know what scene I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I've heard that she's just completely unhinged in this movie. Like she's like
she is absolutely
borderline
unhinged.
crazy, and but like in a good way.
But yeah, but between that, Mr. Terrific is incredibly witty and sarcastic, and his gadgets are incredible. The fighting action sequences are very
Yeah.
James Gunn, of like just the perfect needle drop and that like 360 slow camera view of just chaos happening all around.
I was gonna
it's
say,
just-
so
it
you're
was-
telling me it's a James Gunn movie?
It's a James Gunn movie through and through, and I have never been a big fan of DC in general. Like you could throw any character that's come from the DC universe, and I will tell you that I'm really not that big of a fan of it, and that does include things like Batman as well. I am so excited to see what the DC universe that James Gunn is creating has to offer from this movie and Creature Commandos alone. Makes me think that we've watched an ushered era of 15 incredible years of the MCU, and it's been a lot of rockiness. I know things are starting to pick up a bit with Thunderbolts and with Fantastic Four, but I really think that we're about to be ushering in an era of DC that we haven't seen since The Dark Knight. And
Ooh,
I
yeah.
I am that serious. I will tell you, this movie really just champions kindness and human and caring for one another and doing the right thing. I am one that is, I'm an emotional homie. I will never take that away. I am one that doesn't really cry a lot at movies. And I have been, all three times I saw that movie, the last like 45 minutes, I just have random bouts of just absolute blubbering because it's just so freaking, it is so beautiful and it is so moving, and it's just, I'm struggling to not talk about the things that are just so moving because they're all very spoilery and everything else. But it's just, and the characters all sync so well. On top of the ones I'd mentioned previously, Crypto is the best animal out of any movie I've ever seen, and I will die on that hill. That dog acts the exact same way as my biggest one, Fitzwilliam, and it made me laugh even harder. Nicholas Hoult, who plays Lex Luthor, number one hater on the planet, hands down, no questions. And his level of just maniacalness is absolutely wild. Everyone played their characters really well. Like, really the only complaints that I have about this movie is some of the pacing. Pacing at certain points just either feel a little drawn out longer than they should have been, or felt like, it was a little rushed. And there's about like 12 different things that are happening in this movie, and it gets a little messy, but it feels like that's almost with like, it feels like most superhero movies that are really good is there's a million things that they're trying to juggle at the same time. That's really the only complaint that I really have from this movie. And the last point that I really want to make that I think is so just shocking and jarring to me, is a big focal point of this movie is dealing with a conflict that is happening in the Middle East, in the world of Superman with Metropolis and everything else, of a fictitious two fictitious countries, one called Jarhanpur and then the other one called Baravia. And Baravia is a country that is a little bit more on the Caucasity side, has a very strong relationship with the United States. The United States supplies a lot of modern weaponry to them, and they are actively trying to destroy and take over Jarhanpur, which is candidly is a predominantly non-white country that has not nearly the amount of tools to be able to defend themselves.
Is it bad that I knew which one represented which just by the names?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Right, and that's the thing.
Like, I'm
and
sorry,
like,
but
and
like,
it is
Bravia just sounds like a type of food.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And, like, it could not have been a more clear indication that this is a relation to what is currently happening right now between Israel and Palestine, Israel being the U.S. ally that U.S. is giving an immense amount of weapons to, that's trying to destroy this country, that's just trying to exist and have their space. And it's not even just that similarity. It's equally like the leader of Baravia looks like Ben Gurion, who is the founder of Israel. The colors of Baravia are blue and white and gold, and it just it could not be a more exact like tit for tat showing of that. And the fact that Superman is on Jarhanpur's side defending them right from the very beginning of the movie really just shows like he cares about humanity. And it's watching it, I'm like, I can't believe Hollywood actually let this movie go through. Now James Gunn has said several times
Hollywood is notoriously progressive.
Yeah,
most movie messages, like 90% of movies in existence, especially Disney movies, the message leans left. Like,
True. That being said, most movies do not touch anything that has to do with Israel unless if it's
Fair enough.
pro-Israeli propaganda. Like almost all of it is pro-Israeli propaganda. So for this movie to come out and have this, and now what I will say is James Gunn has also said multiple times in interviews like, hey, like my script had already been written before what happened in October 7th of 2023. Yeah, there were some final edits afterwards, but at the same time, what's been happening to Palestine has been happening since the inception of Israel in the 1940s with the Nakba and everything else. Like he has decades of content to be able to pull from. And it couldn't have been any clearer. And the fact that there are just certain scenes that are dealing with Jarhanpur that literally brought me to tears that this is happening on screen in front of the world. But it was such a heartfelt, feel-good superhero movie. I have never walked away from a DC movie that I was like, I can't wait to watch that again.
Fair enough.
I mean that with The Dark Knight included. And as much as I enjoyed those movies, like again, I'm not the biggest Batman fan, and I was never a big Superman fan. But what I can say is that I am a James Gunn stan, and holy shit. It was incredible. I cannot wait to see the Supergirl movie that's supposed to be coming out. I think in either next year or the year after that. I will say there are two post-credit scenes, or there's a mid-credit and a post-credit scene. James Gunn has made it very clear that his mid and post-credit scenes are just going to be extra context. They're not going to be like the holy shit moments that you'll see in an MCU movie, because he was pissed off from whenever they try to pigeonhole Thor into Guardians world, because he just didn't have control on things anymore. So he's like, if I'm going to put something that could change future movies, I am 100% certain about that. So the mid and post, they don't really add anything extra. There's no like holy shit moment, but man, they're really nice. They're really nice to watch. I loved it. I loved every second of it. Again, it's not a perfect movie, but it was a perfect movie for me. With that being said, I personally, I would give this. I'm a harsh critic, man. I would give this an 8.5 out of 10 for myself.
I'm surprised it's not a 9.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I like again like I'm harsh on grading. I'm really harsh on superhero movies. There's very few that I would give a 9. There's really like maybe one that I would give like a 10. It's an incredible movie. It is a great movie. It's damn near a 9. I like to stick by 0.5, so I would give it an 8.75 if I allowed myself to. But it's incredible. I highly recommend people going and seeing that movie.
Okay.
I'm just gonna wait until it hits max.
I get it. That's fair. You will not be disappointed. Again, I've always hated Superman. And I walked away being like, I can't wait to see that shit again. And when someone was like, hey, I really want to go see it, I'm like, let's go see that shit, man. That's going to be a movie. That's a movie I'll buy a physical Blu-ray of, because I want to own it.
Nice. So, before we wrap up real quick, I have to ask, on the note of Superman and on the nose metaphors and all that, have either of you seen the most recent episode of South Park yet? Episode 2 from the new season.
I have not. I have seen a lot of clips on it thanks to TikTok.
So,
I don't have Paramount Plus. I haven't hopped onto my pirate ship quite yet.
Yeah, fair. So I will just say about this episode, their main target is Kristi Noem, the leader of ICE. They basically go after her, and a lot of scenes with her face. Some shit happens with her face that's a direct parody of The Substance. And they are basically making fun of ICE by directly comparing them to kidnappers and terrorists, basically. Yeah. Like they they definitely paint them as villains in this episode. And she kills about 8 different dogs in this episode, as well as a part of it, and one of them is Crypto. So, and that is a direct joke about how Republicans hate the new Superman movie because of its messaging. So, I thought that was kind of a thing. I felt like it tied in nicely with your review because this episode combines Ice and Superman and all that shit. It's so... Also, they bring back Saddam Trump for Mar-a-Lago, and they are not subtle about the whole... There is an Epstein joke snuck in here, but not in the way you think.
Guy.
Well, there's... Yeah, that's a Fantasy Island reference. J.D. Vance is a Fantasy Island reference in this, but it's not just that. J.D. Vance is a Fantasy Island reference. He's supposed to be the little guy from Fantasy Island in that, but it's not just that. It's also, if you pay attention... All of the staff at Mar-a-Lago are underage girls in this episode.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So that that was definitely on the nose. One of them is literally Dora the Explorer. Too. And there's literally a scene where they raid heaven and deport Latino angels. Which, to me, is probably the most on-the-nose metaphor they could have possibly come up with to piss off.
Gotta hit those quotas.
Yeah. This episode, I'm loving this new, fucking ballsy as fuck South Park season. This is probably the most unhinged season that they've ever done in their entire lives. And yes, I am including the movie in that. This is... this is the epitome of we're $1.5 billion and we no longer give a fuck what happens. That is what this season is. They are going all out. They cranked the notch up to 11.5 on this shit.
Yeah.
And I am here for it. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
One thing I was just going to say is, specifically for Kristi Noem, she is not just the person that oversees ICE. That fool is the literal Secretary of Homeland Security, which is fucking terrifying. Genuinely terrifying. Evil
woman. I'm glad that they clowned her ass so hard. They just absolutely... Yeah, that was... Oh, and then I guess I keep forgetting about the B-plots in these episodes with Cartman because they are completely overshadowed by the Trump shit that they've been doing. But the B-plot in this one was that Clyde becomes one of those, dude bro podcasters that argue with everyone, conspiracy theorists and all that. Yeah. And he's got, them, lined up. And they people confront him about it, Butters and Wendy confronts him about the shit he's saying, and he's like, well, that sounds like a very Jew and female thing to say, Yeah.
The Charlie Kirk reference for Cartman is just great.
The Cartman stuff becomes very juvenile because he becomes a master debater, and they turn that into a joke. So, he says shit like, oh, man, I'm so tired. I was up all night master debating, and stuff like that. And, his mom walks past his room, and she's like, Eric, are you master debating in there again? Just stupid shit like that. But it is, though, because... And one of my favorite lines in the episode is when he says something like, no, it's great because I control all of these, insecure college girls and just, hit them with these questions and stuff. But one of the parts he threw in there is, and he's like, I can make videos out of it, and I can even edit out the parts where they argue back good sometimes. And I was like, they are really not on the side of those people in this episode at all, are they? They really drive home how those particular types of podcasters and shit basically win, quote-unquote, all their arguments by just talking louder than you and just, throwing Bible verses out for no reason. That's exactly what happens. And Cartman's whole thing, though, is that Clyde is basically taking his shtick, and he can't have that, so he needs it back. Because he's got to be the bad guy, That's it. So that's where that whole thing... Basically, that kind of more or less goes nowhere, but it is funny. So I love this season because I love who they're making fun of in this season, altogether. Every episode, I genuinely believe all the people being lampooned in this season so far fucking deserve it. So, hard. So... I'm glad. I'm glad for it. South Park is playing 4D chess with the government, and that is It's funny because other shows are cowering away from making fun of Trump now because what happened to Colbert. And South Park decided to fucking double down on it, and I love them for it. So, yeah, that was a good tie-in with the Superman stuff because it's relevant to that episode. It's relevant to it. So, oh fucking hell, fantastic episode! I can't wait till it looks like there's gonna be. The episodes are going to come out every 2 weeks. Looks like they're going on a 2-week pattern this time. So, probably to save up as much fucking loony-ass bullshit news as possible to squeeze into one episode. So, well, on that note, that'll be it for this episode. Thank you all so much for listening. If you're on YouTube, let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments down below. If you enjoyed it, remember to smash that like button. You can also email me at podcastoversoul@gmail.com. And you can leave a comment down on Spotify. Nick is all over the social medias. He's a social media whore. You can find him at TheGamingFiend1 on everything. And Brooksy is Brooksy my boy, with an I, not a Y, on Instagram. Once again, music is from Epidemic Sounds. We are hosted by PodServe FM. Thank you to our executive producer and professional Nick Wrangler, Sarah, for behind-the-scenes help. And, yeah, that'll be all for this episode. So thanks once again for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Good night, everybody.
Bye.